The following segment is sponsored by the Regional Water Providers Consortium.
Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. We've still got some warm days ahead, but did you know some of your plants may benefit more when you water less? Our own Tammy Hernandez gets some water-wise tips from an expert.
I'm in Northeast Portland with Bonnie Cushman. She's with Regional Water Providers Consortium, and this is her beautiful yard. And today we're talking about how to use water efficiently in the dog days of summer. And this parking strip is a perfect example of how to use water wisely.
Yes, so it is a parking strip that is notoriously hard to water, right? You have to drag a hose out, or if you're lucky, you have an in-ground sprinkler system. So when we planted this last year, we wanted to make sure that it had water-wise plants. And I really wanted to have them look good all year long as well. It's all planted with trees and perennials, and they're naturally going to go into dormancy as we head into fall, which means now, during these dog days of summer, I don't actually have to water it.
Really?
It's doing just fine by itself.
That's impressive because we've had some pretty hot days here this year.
Yeah, I actually have only watered this space about 4 or 5 times this summer total.
Really? Because I would think that in those days over 100 degrees that you'd have to cover them up with something so they don't get burned by the sun, but not so here.
No, what I did was I made sure to amend the soil, so give it some good nutrients that would hold moisture. And then, as you can see, there's bark chips down on the ground, and that also helps hold the moisture in longer times.
Wow, and the dormancy part, I never even considered that. So grass goes dormant, perennials go dormant, so those are really good plants to choose when you're deciding what to put in your yard.
Yeah, because they naturally aren't going to need as much water during these dry days. It is a little opposite to what you would think. You're like, oh gosh, it's warm, it's dry, I should water them, but actually you can ease off a little bit and they'll do just fine.
Okay, what about people growing vegetables?
That's a great question.
Okay, good.
So one of the things about vegetables, and tomatoes in particular, is we again think that we need to water because it's hot and dry, but they actually ripen much quicker and better with a little less water.
So is there a best time to water?
Yeah, generally you want to water before 10 in the morning or after 6 in the evening. That's going to minimize the amount of water that you lose to evaporation, and it's generally when the air is a little bit more still, so the water is going to go where you want it to go.
And then let's talk about, once we start going indoors, what can we do to save money once we're inside more?
Sure, so fall's coming, we're all gonna head back in doors, and the best place that you can save water is actually in your bathroom. You wanna switch out your faucet aerator and your shower head with WaterSense labeled fixtures. And if you're doing a bigger project like replacing your toilet, you wanna make sure to look for a WaterSense toilet as well. All of these use 20% less water without compromising performance. So you can have that great shower and not lose.
Yeah. And September is Emergency Preparedness Month, so what do we need to know about saving water?
So your goal is to store enough water for your whole household for 14 days. So the recommended amount is 1 gallon per person per day for that time period. We always recommend that you change out your water supply, your emergency water supply, about every 6 months to a year. So I like to make sure that I do that during the summer because I can put it on my thirsty plants.
That is a great tip. So Bonnie is full of great information, and so is the Regional Water Providers Consortium website. I'll have a link to that on our website, KATU.com. You're also looking at the WaterSense logo, which can guide you the next time you're replacing an appliance that uses water, or the next time you're looking for a water fixture. Back to you.
Thank you, Tammy, and we'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.